Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 5 of season 4 of Locomotive Royale. I am your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral, and with us today we have 5 lovely contestants in the Streamliner Royale.
Just say 4 lovely contestants.
No, you know what? I'm just sticking with 5. I'm going to call you all lovely today. I'm going to be nice for at least a few minutes.
Yeah, just wait till I introduce my engine and he won't be nice anymore.
So, before we get to that, of course, with me as always, I have my junior technical advisor, Tyler.
Hello.
And 5 streamlined steam locomotives. Fully streamlined, that is. Not semi-streamlined, and not pretending to be streamlined. For the most part. So, to start us off, Matt.
Actually, technically, the picture I posted is the wrong class of locomotive, I just realized.
Are you serious?
So,
Nice.
I wish I
Good
wasn't-
job.
Good job.
Hashtag just Matt things.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever.
Man.
Introduce your engine.
I am bringing Lehigh Valley K6 Class Pacific. It was streamlined to pull the Black Diamond.
Okay.
Streamlined in 1940 for the Black Diamond. Yeah.
They're pretty looking engines. Alright. Next up is Horizon. What have you brought?
I have brought the Southern Pacific / Texas and New Orleans Class P-14 Pacific, streamlined in 1937 to pull Sunbeam and Hustler.
Okay, I'm going to turn you down a little bit. Hold on.
Sorry?
That's okay, it's not your fault. I had you turned up last time, you were probably quiet before. Anyway.
Yeah, this is my first time with a new microphone. Yay.
Hey.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
I even noticed, I was like, someone's loud, and then I didn't check who it was. Anyway, in the third position, we have Milky.
When trains fly, the goose.
The goose. Yeah, so, Blue Goose, which looks awfully white in this picture, but, you know.
Goose.
Note the extendo stack.
Goose.
Yep.
Goose. Okay,
Bad goose.
in the fourth position, we have East.
Yeah, when things fly, I'm when Germany gets high.
You do have an eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No eagle.
Yeah, it's a big no eagle.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Right.
the BIA 191001, which is a minus all propaganda. Underneath its streamlining, it's a very interesting engine.
Uh-huh,
You'll soon see.
I'm sure.
Interesting. Cough, cough.
German technical superiority.
And it had no idea what was going on in those caps. Anyway, in the
I
final,
can already hear Bruce and Glory.
in the fifth and final position, Brian, what have you brought?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Is I the Starlight Alchemist, formerly known as Train 4460. I am bringing CB&Q S4A Aeolus class, which is a modification of the S4 to substitute the Pioneer Zephyr sets on Zephyr services.
I'm going to be honest, you definitely have the coolest name here, but probably the least cool design.
Yeah.
Well, excluding the swastika on the...
Yeah. I was about to
Yeah.
say
It's
that.
a cool design.
Listen,
It's cool design in looks only.
if there wasn't
wait.
a swastika,
It looks like a brick.
if there wasn't a swastika on that other engine, it would be much cooler. But also, far be it from me to criticize something that looks like a brick. Anyway,
What the hell? This is literally the Volvo of Streamliner.
yes.
Why
So,
are you not
why do I not
Okay,
love it? That's the real question. Anyway, so, Matt, do you have
wait,
an actual
because it's not
picture of your
engine.
actual engine? Is this it?
Yeah, the second one I posted is it.
Small. But it works.
Oh, oh, God.
No, it's fine. It's not that small.
No, it's not small. We're just making fun of you.
I was good for it.
Pages
I was
open
good
for all
for
my
it.
backup.
You're all minuscule.
Alright, anyway. Yeah, if you're all minuscule, nobody brought the Q1, which is disappointing, because apparently that one counted.
I mean, it's streamlined, is it
It
not?
is streamlined. I didn't think it was as streamlined as it is, but it is streamlined. Anyway,
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's a
I
beautiful
just
girl.
realized something amazing. I just realized I got one stat in the bag.
All right,
I
all right,
points
Matt.
stat which could go any direction.
Matt, go ahead with the first stat.
like
This is an interesting set of locomotives here.
I think I can do halfway decent on this thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go for Loco base ID.
Okay, interesting.
Here we go.
Going once,
Germany toppers.
going twice.
Hold up, this is bias over here. I don't like this.
Doesn't matter.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Uh,
Oh wait, I can veto, but I'm not going to because this is funny.
I would
Yeah.
call you a Nazi, but it would be a little much right now.
I mean, I did not see
No,
this
no.
coming.
Matt, what?
Ooh.
Matt, go with the theme
All
song.
right. All right. My value is 147.
147. That's pretty good.
Ooh.
Horizon.
8733.
That's
Ooh,
high.
Ouch.
That's pretty high. Milky.
Dominating the charts right off the bat. 125.
125. Nice.
Man, if you
I
think
had-
Horizons was high, just wait till you see this.
Yeah, East. Go ahead.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah.
I didn't know Loco Base
27.
went that high.
Oh, it goes up to
Oh,
25,000, I
but
think.
27,000.
27,000.
Holy
Yeah, that's where we
moly.
rated the Hurricane at. The Hurricane
Yep.
and Ghost.
Oh boy, that's high.
Are those two actually in Loco Base now?
No, I haven't
Okay.
sent them in.
Okay.
Yeah, but the highest engine we found by our searching was 27,000, so we just put them there.
Fair enough.
Mm.
All right, and Brian.
Maybe I didn't have this in the bag.
Okay.
I did not expect to be solid middle of the
The
road.
Burling Brick route is right in the middle.
Yeah.
I would not call
I
it
would
solid
take
middle of the
a
road
2.
when your two competitors are 8,000 and 20,000.
I mean, he still gets 3 points. Milky gets 5. Matt gets 4. Brian gets 3. Horizon gets 2. And East gets negative 50k.
I'll take it.
Oh, wait.
I was gonna say maybe. I was gonna maybe say negative 6 million, but that was a little too on the nose.
Minus 6 million Jews.
Tyler, you're gonna buy
Yes,
one
that
of these.
was the joke. Thank you for spelling it out. Okay, Horizon.
Maybe.
Your first
Oh my
stat
God,
call.
it's-
Bring it on.
Alright, let's see what I can do. Maybe that. Do I want to go for it off the bat? Let's see what we got. Power L1.
Power L1.
Interesting choice.
It is an interesting choice to start with. Going once, going twice. Power L1. Matt.
23,291.
3,291. Okay, not half bad. Horizon.
Maybe I don't have this quite as hard as I thought.
It's okay.
Which one is it? This one, yes. 20,558.
2558.
Ooh.
All right, Milky.
Not too bad.
But mine is much nicer at 69,900.
Jesus!
Oh!
Remember when I said the Blue Goose was a menace?
Okay, never call any power stat.
Yeah.
Completely.
Hey,
Oh,
guys. Tyler, what do you use to calculate power L1?
You know,
Oh,
we still haven't figured all that out yet.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. 52,984.
Oh, God.
Oh, my
This was a bad decision.
Brian?
I never am going to be calling power stats.
What the hell?
Oh, you'll see when I ask my stat.
Nice.
Brian's back in the middle.
Oh, wait, right. His secret weapon. I just remembered.
Okay, anyway,
Technical superiority.
yeah. Milky gets 5 points, East gets 4 points, Brian gets 3 points, Matt gets 2 points, and Horizon gets 1 point. Wolf, congratulations on unearthing the power stats. That's going to be a
So-
definer going forward.
Let's
The
never do that
Nazi is
again.
second only to the most generic American locomotive to exist.
I would not call it a blue goose, Jim, but it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
But
it's
then
really
again,
cool.
you
I'm
don't
just
like
saying
cool
it's like,
things because you like the red ink.
no, I like cool things. I also like the red.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare. All right, Milky,
Yeah.
what's your stat?
The red ink is so cool, it's not
You
cool.
know what? What's your driver diameters, folks?
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
he's a menace! Going once.
Ha.
Going twice. Okay, Matt, driver diameter, go.
So, 77.
77, not bad. Horizon?
77.5.
Way to be those guys, SP. Man, I haven't gotten to say that in a while. Milky?
84.
84, yeah, there's that.
Jesus.
East?
So you guys want to know a fun fact? My drivers are the same diameter as my leading and trailing truck.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this.
Oh,
Look
no.
at that.
Why?
Bruh.
49.
Still big.
Germany.
Those are still
What
big
on
leading
earth
and
are
trailing
those
wheels.
drivers?
Actually, I think my trailing axle is bigger than my drivers, just looking at that picture.
Alright, Brian, go ahead.
What do you know? I'm not last for once.
What do you mean? You've been in the middle 2 times in a row?
Sorry, not in the middle. That's not what I
Yeah,
said.
you take second.
Man, I haven't been last, he says.
I didn't think I was trying to oof the Germans that
Yeah,
bad.
well, that's good.
Okay,
77,
when I ask my
77.5,
stat,
and 78. Dang it.
Okay.
when I ask my stat, you'll see what I mean when I send a picture.
Okay. Well, Milky gets 5 points. Brian gets 4 points. Horizon gets 3, just barely. Matt gets 2, and East gets 1.
Yes, my trailing truck is actually larger than my drivers. I'm looking at the diagrams right
That's
now, I think.
concerning.
That is very concerning.
I mean, I'm just
I will
concerned about how this
post them,
thing...
but I know what
how
your
this
secret
thing
weapon
goes.
is, and you don't want to reveal that.
He's like,
Oh,
I need a
this
support- I
is
need a
not my secret
support
weapon.
group.
I'm just doing this for the
Like,
meme.
down the goose.
What are your high pressure cylinders?
I need
Okay.
a support group that's as supporting as East's trailing truck is to the firebox.
Going once, going twice.
Go.
Alright, Matt.
Go.
Yeah.
He's laughing, but he ain't prepared for this.
Oh,
High
I'm
pressure
prepared for
cylinders.
25 by 28.
Remember to punch him
Okay,
in down
Matt.
here and include your number of cylinders, which I feel like is concerning at this point.
I think it's 2. I think it's 2.
I see some stuff hanging down here. I'm wondering what's going on.
I think it's 2 cylinders. I hope.
Huh, East's numbers are surprisingly
say-
low.
It'll say on locomotive.com if you have more than 2.
Okay,
I'm waiting for Milky to input his. I want to just see how I compare to him.
The big Gusta.
Okay.
Put it in.
Matt has 24,475. Horizon has 27,475. Brian has 27,475. That's 3 with the same size of cylinders. And then there's Milky with 25,000 and East down here with 10K.
You guys should look at the side of my engine.
8 of that.
He is the only V8 here, folks.
Jesus.
Why exactly does he have square cylinders, by the way?
Because Germany.
Yeah.
This is fair.
Deutsche.
Deutschland.
Deutschland,
Deutschland forever.
The reason it's square cylinders is because square cylinders are less
Is-
prone to
is-
wear at high speeds.
Is that what you're asking when
It's like
looking
in an
at
engine.
these cylinders, my guy?
Also, no, the cylinders are, well, okay, technically they are square in that
Like an
dimensionally,
inter-
yes,
like an
but at the
internal
same time.
combustion engine, square cylinders means higher revving.
Not
Okay.
exactly.
Here's where we are. This is interesting. We have 3 people with 5 points. Matt gets 5 points. Horizon gets 5 points, and
Yeah.
Brian gets 5 points. And then Milky gets 2 points, and East gets 1.
You're letting the right down these.
So now you know why calling any parameter which deals with number of cylinders, you know.
Milky's gonna win. Milky's
Can we just
gonna
all-
win.
Can we just all take out that goose, please?
That's the goal,
It's a good
please.
I mean, I would rather the goose win than the literal Nazi.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
trying to
Look,
this
one of these
Royale.
has been a menace to us more than the other.
You know, that's a good
I'm-
point.
I'm trying to lose. I've got to get into the loser royale somehow.
We
Oh my god, you want to go and lose or help this yet?
we were. We did manage to defeat the Nazis. We still haven't defeated geese.
We haven't defeated the emus either, so.
But yeah, that's another problem. Nobody brought the Australian things. This time.
American
No,
goose or
I
goose
agree.
ever.
Taking out the goose is priority because I don't want to have to face it in the finale.
Yeah, let's
Why
see.
is there no picture of the blue goose here?
There is, though.
I've got a
He
picture of
posted
it.
a link
See
to
one?
it.
Anyway,
He posted a link to it. Maybe reply to it.
anyway,
Fine.
Brian, Mr. Aeolus,
Okay,
give us
real
a
quick,
stat.
need to look at this picture. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me look at that again.
E.
Hey.
Wait a second.
Okay. Are you gonna get me on?
I wonder
Just go
how
wait
Valgear
stats.
will do.
Yeah.
Valgear.
Okay.
Cool.
Valve
He
gear.
probably has Baker knowing.
You fool.
Oh God. Valve gear. Valve gear going
Wait
once.
a second.
Valve gear going twice.
Tyler, can you dissect this?
And Valve gear starting with Matt.
You fools. I have a faker.
Of course.
This too is a Baker.
Horizon.
Wall sharks.
Wall sharts. Milky.
Also wall search.
Okay. Not bad.
East, you know you have cam theft.
It's clear Valgear. It's
Yeah,
very-
we look at it, guys.
So you got no valve gear.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I've got the no Valve gear.
God.
Which one is it? This one. Oh.
East has cam chat Valgear.
That's valve gear. Called no valve gear.
There literally is a blank space in his entry.
Hold
Okay.
on. So should I get 5 points because I have no Valve gear?
Can we give
What do you
him
mean 5 points because you have no Valve gear? You don't have the stat.
No, because having no Valve gear like reduces I don't know stuff.
You definitely have some kind of Valve gear.
He has poppets.
lies?
He has poppets.
He has German technical superiority.
All right. Anyway,
Even Tyler saying that I don't have Valve gear.
Brian, what's your Valve gear?
Let's go, Matt. We're winning.
Okay, so here's where we are. Matt and Brian both get 5. Horizon and Milky both get 3. East gets 1. It doesn't matter if he has Valve gear or not.
That does, however, look like poppets. I'm gonna note.
It doesn't
It's
surprise
got
me.
a camshaft running for-
Can you guys stop
Incorrect.
breaking my
Don't worry.
formatting down here?
It was broken.
Somebody wrote "kill the goose" down here. Rude.
There was nothing there, okay? I had to
Well, then it wasn't you. It was someone.
Oh.
Everyone tally up your points for the end of round. Holy moly.
End of round. Holy.
Tied.
14.
Are you sure?
18.
Yeah, we're both.
Nice.
Jeez.
Well, this was a
This-
scary
Oh,
first round.
Like,
Yeah, I think my
aside
prediction
from
of
this is very close.
the sunbeam's not doing
Getting
it.
getting a 3-way tie on cylinders is interesting.
Yeah.
East has a. Oh my.
What can I say except
Efficiency, man.
you're welcome?
Okay, so Milky and Brian both are in the lead. So that's the Blue Goose
Cheers,
and the
Milky,
Areolus.
Bros.
The Lehigh Valley Torpedo is in 3rd place.
Or
The Southern Pacific Mini Daylight Crossed with an I-5 is in 4th place. And the Nazis are last where they belong.
for now.
For now. Hopefully they'll stay there.
Not for now. They stay last.
Good man, don't
something. God, I can't remember the name of the Sabaton song.
Rise of Evil, is that the one you're looking for?
Ghost Division.
Oh god.
Yeah, Ghost Division, that's it.
Fly right, there you go. Right,
Anyway,
Matt-
the singing break is over. Matt, pick your second stat.
I want to keep singing.
No.
Screw you.
Too bad.
The singing is not a tat.
Fact. No.
Matt's thunking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be donk.
Why has East renamed himself to ReZero character times ReZero character?
Because
That's
yes.
Dash, but it's an inside joke with me and Tyler, so
How
like,
about-
it.
Boiler pressure.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boiler
Oh.
pressure.
Would you like to rethink that?
Going
Yes,
once?
actually, I think I would. Veto. No.
You can't.
No.
You don't need to veto your own stat.
You know what? Never mind then. Let me try something else.
Wow, that's very
No.
impressive for having
You
8
son of a
cylinders, not
bitch.
gonna lie.
Let's do.
I think, no, but wait, you can't just,
Wait,
no, you already called the stat.
No, he can retract it while I'm still doing the
Oh.
countdown.
I
Can't find
retract
damn
my
it.
statistic.
you piece of
Hat.
Going once?
Driver wheelbase.
Alright, driver wheelbase. Going once?
I'm
Going
asking
twice?
the guy with 40-inch drivers.
Yeah, but
Alright,
you have 4 of them.
Matt,
8 of them.
what's your driver
Yeah, but the
wheelbase?
drivers are double my size.
Driver wheelbase is 13.67.
13.67, alright. Horizon,
13.33.
Bruh.
Horizon, the proportions on your engine are messing me up. It looks like a toy train.
Yes, I know.
But
it
it's
acts
amazing.
Like a
It's like a miniaturized daylight that's smooth.
It is.
And
But anyway,
It's a mini daylight, essentially.
Recipes were preserved because they're beautiful.
It's
Alright.
a mini daylight that's terrible.
Milky, go ahead.
14.5.
14.5, rough with those giant drivers. East?
Whatever that is.
I was right.
16.24.
Oh.
So we're talking about half of France here.
Yeah, that's about half. That's a good
Only
half.
half.
Frame.
Wait, who the fuck stole my point?
I don't know. Brian, go ahead.
Control my stat.
Matt, you're not gonna believe this. 13.67.
Oh my god!
Wow.
People are tying left, right, and center. I love this one.
I think I won.
No.
Are
This
you
is
winning, son?
This is a hell of a royale. Okay.
Are you winning, son?
Okay, so starting with the
I agree,
Sunbeam.
Tyler. Let's go.
Horizon gets 5 points. Brian and Matt both get 4. Milky gets...
Yeah.
sorry, Milky gets 2, and East gets 1.
Ah,
Yay.
no, I get
I took one for the team.
Right.
The team of
Now,
making sure the
anyway,
German doesn't
Who
win.
wants to call facts of adhesion?
Oh god.
Nobody.
That's not. Let's see
Yeah,
what
V8.
I can play into with my stat now that I know apparently I am the smallest.
Yes.
Well, smallest doesn't really mean much because you could still be
No.
here.
Size
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
But I mean, look at him. I mean, maybe he's not lighter than you, East, but he's a little engine compared to the rest of you
Babby.
guys. Yeah.
And badly too.
Sunbeam is small.
Even the
Trash
Colpedo over here.
Let's go ahead and
Colpedo. That is officially the
say,
nickname that I'm using for that engine.
everyone else seems shorter, and I did all right with it. Let's go with engine wheelbase.
Oh, engine wheelbase. Interesting call. Going once. Going twice.
Vito.
Oh, engine wheelbase is out the window.
Oh,
Dang.
and they're good.
And Milky's veto is used off the board. Alright, Horizon, pick something else.
Okay, let's see what we have. Not sure I want to do that. Does everyone here have that?
Never know, do we?
Do we have that?
Do we go with this?
The German probably doesn't, but you know, the
It's
German
good.
V8 for cylinders.
V8.
Yeah, this is the only V8 steam engine you'll ever see.
It's like Top Gear. It's just
Actually-
V8 motor.
Don't want to do.
I mean, what about Heislers though?
Heizler's are not V8.
There was a Hazler design, a V8 Hazler design.
Yeah, there are.
Plus, Berliner Work made one.
You know what? Screw
That-
it.
That's Berliner Works.
How many pounds your booster got?
Booster.
Ooh, that's a nice call.
Booster.
That's one
Booster.
that people don't use.
Going
Yeah,
once.
who's gonna veto that?
Going twice.
No, but
Matt, no
And
one else
it's
has a
and it's
booster.
called.
Veto. No. Does that count? It was like right on the line.
No, it doesn't
You know what?
count.
I'll say
You're like way too
in-
late.
Too late.
intention.
Yeah.
Okay. If everybody else
Today I'm
says it,
Matt.
If everyone else says it was too late, I was going to let it go. I was going to call it as a veto. But
It's too late. We're doing this.
No, I think we should roast Matt for being
Bruh,
slow.
we need to kill the goose, though.
The goose doesn't have one either.
Well, yeah, but that's not
No.
my problem.
okay, anyway. All right, we're doing this. This conversation is dumb enough. We're doing it. Booster, Matt, go.
I'll take my pity point. And leave.
Okay, Horizon.
11,510.
I can't believe they gave this thing a booster. Milky, do you have one?
Oh yeah.
I have
of course.
everything except for a booster.
Wow. Okay, East. All right, not surprised.
Yeah, no.
Brian, do you have a booster?
You fool! 11,700.
Oh my God! I was gonna say he's been. I was gonna say Brian has been conspicuously quiet. He's been really quiet.
What's Brian bringing? Oh, he's bringing the wedge.
I just punched my headphones by accident.
The Aeolus.
Nice.
Anyway, Brian gets 5 points. Horizon gets 4 points, and everyone else gets 1.
I mean, I'll take it, but you know.
Back to home territory. Again.
That is really good news for the Aeolus, I gotta say.
Hmm.
You know what? I like this engine. I want to see it go to the finale.
Yeah, I like the Aeolus too. Oh, I just allowed this to happen because I'm trying to go to the losers bracket.
Why?
And despite the Milky.
Okay. Anyway,
Kill the goose.
Hang on, I need to ping Braid and make sure that he comes in here to spectate.
okay. Now
Alright.
it's time for the Gusta.
And
Year built.
Oh,
Kill the goose.
year built.
Kill the
Is that
goose.
original year
Someone
built,
did
or
it
is that
so-
year streamlined?
It's whatever.
Year built.
It's the number it says on the Steam Locomotive page. Going once,
Yeah.
Damn locomotive.
going twice.
Mighty.
Year built. Matt.
You built. 1924.
It's in 1950.
1924.
The Santa Fe's dumb. Because I'm hoping he did pull a total brain fart and forgot this thing has a certain type of eagle on it.
Horizon.
Oh, you know what it is.
1937.
37.
You know
Milky.
what it is. You know what it is? 1945.
Nice.
Yes.
242. And Brian.
at least I'm not last. 1930.
A slightly older boy. Okay, so that means Milky wins. Milky gets 5 points. East gets 4 points. Horizon gets 3 points. Brian gets 2 points, and Matt gets 1 point.
Kill the goose.
We're going goose hunting today, boys.
Wild goose. It's wild goose chase, but there's no survivors.
Yeah.
There's no survivors.
Goose
Yeah,
goose actually
that's right.
tastes pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Especially when the
Yeah.
goose starts chasing after you. Then
I
you're
want
not
to
gonna
do a
survive.
total wag.
Untitled goose game, but it's
Hang on, there's a Benny Hill thing.
Untitled Goose Chase.
There's a Benny Hill thing.
But it's bad.
Evaporating heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
Evaporative heating
Oh.
surface divided by cylinder volume. That's a good
The
call for
complicated
East.
one.
Going
Yeah.
once. Going twice. And Matt, evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
206.5.
206.5. Horizon.
Two 48.46.
48.46. Milky.
290.55.
290.55.
438.76.
Oh,
Stop
Milky,
stealing the.
Milky, your number disappeared again.
Who keeps doing that?
Brian.
kill the goose.
Yeah, like, I know we want to kill the goose, but you don't delete his stats. That's just rude. Anyway, 266.94.
266.94.
It's a solid middle of the road again.
Yeah,
Dang it.
not great, not terrible. East has the best number here. He wins.
That was a Chernobyl reference
Milky,
you just made?
Yes, Milky gets 4 points. Brian gets 3 points. Horizon gets 2 points. Matt gets 1 point.
I haven't even watched the Chernobyl movie because I'm scared to death
Hey,
of
take
nuclear accidents
Take
and
a
all
look at my
that.
points.
Only
Hey,
reason
Brian,
killed-
call something that'll give me a 1.
No.
The only reason I know about that quote is because I saw Homer say it in a 15.ai video.
Okay.
Turn.
Anyway, Brian, what's your stat?
Mm-hmm. Noise has intensified. Brian has turned into a villager.
Huh. And now he's a
you
witch.
know, I'd still need to decide this.
Who's your builder?
That's a risk. Oh,
wait.
that's actually a good one. Builder.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Builder.
Okay.
Going once.
That
Going
Builder.
twice.
I'm ready to heavily debate this one.
Oh, I heard a veto out of somebody. I think it was
Oh,
Horizon.
I heard Vita.
Horizon just
that was
vetoed
mine.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, aren't you a Baldwin?
No, it says here Southern Pacific Houston shops.
Ooh.
Hey.
It do be like that.
I
Okay.
thought you were a Baldwin. I thought you were
It
going to
do
come
be
all the
like
way
that
back.
sometime.
Houston
For-
shop. It's not even the good side of Southern Pacific.
For the record, I was Santa Fe, which I would have made a good case that Santa Fe, despite how bad they are, is better than Germany. So
No, no. Germany technical superiority.
German
my
engineering
friend.
is the best in the world.
I was
Matt, we're doing
several.
Alpha or Republic?
Okay, anyway. Brian,
Nice name.
backup stat.
Number built is only the streamlined ones, right?
No, it can
No.
include the entire crowd.
I know Hemlock wanted that, but that's going to get factored into style points, so we're just going to do regular number build.
Okay then, number built.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Oh,
Going
boy.
once. Going
How
twice.
many of the gooses are built? Probably just one, right?
All right,
I would hope.
You
one.
don't know how many I would.
Matt,
You say that.
go ahead. How many of
Um,
these things did they have?
I suppose they had 12. Although I'm going to check that right now because it doesn't sound right.
Okay. Horizon?
1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
Nice.
Three sunbeams. Milky?
I got double that. 6.
Okay.
Surprising absolutely no one.
East.
One.
You know what? I thought there were more.
Lead.
Yeah, I thought
But-
there'd be like 30 of them or something.
Although, I suppose I wouldn't be surprised in either direction. I'm not super surprised if there's one, considering the cylinders and stuff. Okay, Brian,
Considering
how
what
many
the-
of,
what it is?
42.
how many of those guys were there, Brian?
Yo, Matt, let's go.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
Why do we
I'm
have
not
so many?
last. Oh wait, no, I'm not last. Darn it! It screwed up my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh well. Brian and Matt, you guys have the most. You get 5 points apiece. Milky gets 3 points. Horizon gets 2 points, and East gets 1 point for his singular weirdo locomotive. Tally up your points
Hey
for the
guys, I'm tied with everyone else.
tally up your points for the end of round 2.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
I did not do very well this round. Shoot. Although, fortunately, neither did the goose, but it still did better than me.
What the hell?
Okay.
There's a
How on
special.
earth
I
is the brick
guarantee
getting
you
that
that
far
I'm immediately
ahead?
going to plummet because we're going to start getting into the stats that the Blue Goose
Yeah.
is at.
Turns
But
out
holy crap, I'm beating the Blue Goose in Aeolus.
the Aeolus seems like it's a good engine. Aeolus
Also
is
style
in
point.
the lead with 39 points. 4 points behind it with 35 points is the Blue Goose, that's Milky. And then the Sunbeam and the Cold Torpedo are in third place with 30 points apiece.
Cool.
The BR191001 is in last place
Sad.
with only 20 points. That's a gap
No,
of almost
it's just sad.
That's a gap of almost 20 points from top to bottom. So, let's see if Matt can make it ahead of his closest competitor with his third stat. Go ahead, Matt.
Spoiler alert, I cannot, but, let's, look through here. You know, might be a little bit of a throw on this one, but
Okay.
let's try.
Braden's coming to spectate.
I kind of want to do that, but I don't want to do that. Wait on drivers.
Wait on drivers. Okay. Going once.
Gonna stay.
Going twice. Matt, wait on drivers.
181,000.
181,000. Horizon.
185,400.
Milky.
210,800.
Ooh,
Aha!
that's a little
I'm
heavier.
killing the goose.
East.
This is the one I'm worried about.
I would actually assume East is pretty light, yeah.
What's the stat again? I'm sorry.
Wait
I
on
was
drivers.
distracted.
Wait on drivers.
Drivers
What?
on rate.
Weight on drivers.
Okay.
Concern.
164, 465.
That doesn't really
Yeah.
surprise
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Brian?
At the very least, I'm not last.
Yeah.
207.
Oh,
That's a
shocker.
chalky locomotive.
John.
That is including the extra 7,000 pounds in corrugated siding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyway, East being the lightest
You
and
can't
most
put stainless steel on a steam engine, my ass.
the lightest and most nimble locomotive, because it excludes the weight of a soul, gets 5 points. Matt gets 4 points. Horizon gets 3 points. Brian gets 2 points, and Milky gets 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I'm up to bat. Let's see what I can do without giving the blue goose a bigger lead.
Kill the goose.
Don't.
Wait stat.
And I'm doing it with,
Kill
and
the
I'm
goose.
doing it with a good number of weight stats out of it.
Kill the goose.
Kill the goose.
You ain't going to kill this.
Hmm. I don't want
What can the sunbeam do?
Let's go with evaporating heating surface.
Evaporative heating surface. Okay.
Hmm.
That's an interesting call for a relatively small engine, but we'll see how it turns out. Going once. Going twice. Okay, Matt, evaporative heating surface.
3285.
3285.
I just
Horizon?
hope that the Blue Goose has an incredibly small boiler for
Yeah, no.
3953.
3953.
because mine is chonk, but probably not that chonk.
Milky?
Can you?
4,303.
4303. That's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of close.
East?
What's the stat?
Evaporative heating
Evaporating
surface.
heating. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, no.
Not a surprise.
2580.
German.
Brian?
I am within reach. 4,247.
Ooh, that is very close, but Milky
Oh,
Milky
Another
has the
three.
most evaporative heating surface. He wins.
no.
He gets
No,
5
kill the
points.
goose.
My favorite number.
Brian
We're
gets
supposed
4
to kill the
points.
goose, not make it
Horizon
better.
gets 3
I'm
points.
sorry, I don't have a good chunk of stats.
Matt gets 2
Yeah.
That's weight
points.
stats.
East gets 1
Something.
Fair
point.
enough.
Sometimes the
feel-
best strategy is to take a 3 on a stat you ask to make the blue goose get a 1 instead of giving him a
Hang
5 and you a
Hang
4.
on, hang on, hang on. Can I real quick just say something?
What's up?
East engine, the 191001.
Yep.
Is that a 2
No.
quad duplex,
No.
or is it a
No.
2?
It's a 242. No, a 282. It's a what's that?
242.
2442.
How did you
It-
forget the 282?
It's a Mikado. Don't ask me how it works.
It's a
Someone
Mikado
kinda
with
can
lots of
explain that.
cylinders. Okay.
Germany.
It's a it's not even a cross compound. It's just how would that work? The
It's
cylinders
ridiculous.
would have to be aligned with each other. Otherwise, it'd have to be a 2442.
Look,
Well, no, they're-
no.
The cylinders don't necessarily have to all be in line with one another because they could still all be linked together by something we're not seeing.
Yeah, that's true.
If you look at the close shot of the side, there is linkage in between the exhaust systems for the valves.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's all timed off the same mechanism.
Okay.
But the real question is, how much border pressure do you have in that thing?
No, God, here we
Milky,
go.
this is a stupid German thing. Are you sure you want to ask that?
Yes, he wants to add
not
that.
DNH.
He did.
Okay. Going once. Going twice. Matt, go for boiler pressure.
And make sure that's the right number. Yep, 215.
215.
Okay.
Horizon?
210. Darn you, SP.
Yeah.
Hat,
Milky?
300.
300 is nice. East?
boiler tube.
God damn it.
What's that like?
290.10.
290.10.
Yep.
And breaking the format.
Brian?
Hey, it was an accident.
Middle of the road again. 250.
250.
Matt, your mom's a Matt, your mom is a demonetizable word.
Okay. Milky has the highest boiler pressure. He gets 5 points. The German gets 4 points. Brian gets 3 points. Matt gets 2 points. And Horizon gets 1 point with 210 in the Sunbeam.
210.
210 in the Sunbeam. East, what's your stat?
Let's do engine weight.
Engine weight. Good call, I
Okay.
think. Going once. Going twice. Okay, engine weight. Matt?
Engine weight. 291,000.
291,000. Horizon?
307. 500.
307,500.
Strong.
Milky? He's not that strong.
412,330.
That's chunk.
Oh, that's a chunky boy.
East?
249.65.
How are you that light?
Because he's German. Brian?
Yeah, I'm European. I have like nothing inside.
Yeah, engine weight.
That's what he said.
All right then. Okay, I think the stainless steel cladding is definitely adding up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's heavier than the
boy.
Blue Goose.
Lighter than Milky because kill the goose. 391,000.
Oh, he sneaks in out of the goose. Okay, so Milky's the heaviest,
Kill
but
the goose.
East is the lightest. East being the lightest engineer gets 5 points. Matt gets 4 points. Horizon gets 3 points. Brian gets 2 points, and Milky gets 1 point.
Damn, I thought stainless steel weighed more.
It's pretty heavy, man.
Yeah. Some heavy metal.
But we're working with hundreds of thousands of pounds, so, you know.
I find it funny that that the biggest engine by wheelbase is the lightest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian.
Hmm.
Matt, you know what time it is.
No, please
Number
never say
in
that again.
class.
I'm running away.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Please never say that again.
I'm gonna
I
veto
think-
solely for the fact that it gives Milky a 3.
Okay. East vetoes numbering class. Brian, hit us with another one.
All right. This is actually difficult now.
Yeah.
Just ask a weight. Oh wait, no, you're fat.
He's fat. He's not the
I'm
fattest,
also
but he's
fat.
pretty
I don't
pretty
wanna
thick.
ask a weight.
You should totally
I'm
ask
doing that.
factor of adhesion.
Don't ask factor of adhesion because East has like 6
Let's
PPA.
not.
Nah.
But he's got 50 cylinders and he's super light. It's going to be like way over 4.
Hey, remember, East is trying to lose here, so you never really know.
Yeah. He's
I'm just trying
playing
to
the
stunt
KI.
Milky.
Besides, I'm pretty sure I have one that's way worse than both of the Pacifics.
Actually, try Power MT. That might cook Milky. Because
Thinking
you sure
emoji. Thinking emoji.
no, it's Power L1. Power L1 helps the small engines.
Thinking emoji.
It
We
was
already did
called.
that one.
We
Oh,
already
okay.
did Power L1. I
It's-
said it and I got a 1.
And I got 5
that-
at it.
MT is the latest and greatest formula.
Are
It
you
helps
serious?
The small.
Sure, Alice Tamalia's wake up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Although I'm pretty sure that East is going to win that because he's a 282.
Going once.
Okay.
Going twice. I'm not hearing any
It is worth
vetoes.
bringing the thought marker up.
Ellis Tamelio's weight computation. Down here,
Okay.
weight on drivers divided by engine weight.
Damn it, East, stop breaking the format.
I misclick once and all you guys go insane.
You've done it twice this episode.
Yeah, twice in every Royale based the
The-
So correct me if I'm wrong. You want A higher number.
Yeah.
You want a higher
Yeah.
number. It means more of your weight is adhesive weight.
On your
Nice.
thick ass drivers.
Yeah.
21,000.
Good stat, man. Good call. Good call.
For East.
Good
Wow.
call. Let's go, Brian.
Engine weight.
Rough for Milky.
Come on, Matt. What's your engine weight?
291,000.
As long as I stay ahead of the goose, I'm fine.
Okay,
Good
here
call.
we
Good-
stand.
Good job,
Middle of the
fucking
packet.
Lucky.
Matt got the flip.
East is the best job
No.
of distributing his adhesive weight. He gets 5 points, or distributing his weight. Matt gets 4 points.
Yeah.
Horizon gets 3 points. Brian gets 2 points, sneaking in just above Milky, who gets 1 point. Alright, so tally up your points for the end of round 3.
My math is correct. That is a 52.
Aw, man.
48, but I can come back.
We're killing the goose, guys. I'm close to him.
I
The
am
goose
so
is not a
very
dead
close.
cat.
Come on, Matt. Overtake the goose.
I think it should be more scaring that I've caught up to y'all.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
no.
even scared.
Guys, East wasn't an issue, and now East is an issue.
East
I'm
doubled
not
his
even
points this
afraid.
last round.
As long as the goose dies, you can rise up as high as you want.
Yeah. But not
This
that
ain't
high.
At
dying.
this point, I don't even care that I'm winning, and I don't even care if I drop horrendously. I'm just like, as long as the goose dies, I'm satisfied.
Goose
Anyway.
dies, we're fine.
The CB&Q Aeolus is in first place with 52 points. The Blue Goose is in second place with 48 points. The K6B is in third place with 46 points. The Southern Pacific P14 is in fourth place with 43 points. And the BR19 1001 is in last place with 40 points. That's a total gap of 12 points top to bottom, but everyone is pretty well spread out in that range, so this is going to be interesting going into the final round. Starting, of course, with Matt.
Oh no.
Wait, Matt, real quick.
Yeah? What's up?
Is he DMing you?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh my god. Dang.
That
Oh,
kind of
Jesus.
stuff.
Do you?
I think I do.
Goodness gracious.
There it is.
Do it.
Alright, sure. Axle
Oh.
loading.
Axle loading. Okay.
Excellent.
Going once,
Where's that?
going twice. Okay, axle loading starting with Matt.
60,000.
60k.
Ho!
Horizon?
65,300.
Wow.
Sean.
Loki?
71,600.
Yep.
I'm beyond
Yep.
confused.
East?
42,737.
Yep.
That doesn't surprise me.
That surprises
Brian?
nobody.
69, 780.
Nice.
Nice.
You made
Ah,
the
man,
not
I
high.
was so close to 422.
Sorry, my sister and her
Not
friends
that
just
close.
came in.
Another 3.
Okay,
That's
so East being the lightest gets 5 points, Matt gets 4 points, Horizon gets 3 points, Brian gets 2 points, and Milky gets 1 point.
I was really banking on someone not having that.
I know that would have
Feels
been
like
a hell of a thing. I'm surprised
Yeah.
everyone had that. That's kind of rare, actually.
kill the goose.
Hammers in Four Foam is complaining about how I'm the most obnoxious player and I always have a shit-eating grin, and he's so right. I am
Yeah.
ear to ear right now,
He
just laughing.
He is right.
Remind him that that's my title to be taken.
No, I mean you're obnoxious with your stat calls. East is just all around obnoxious. But
You're saying the recorder isn't obnoxious?
I am saying that I'm going to
Because
snap
I
the thing in
can- I
half.
can-
Uh,
I can play more
Horizon.
of it if you would like.
no, Horizon, go ahead.
Oh, good lord. What do I choose? Oh, good.
Hey, Matt, try playing We Are Number One.
Can you not
No.
encourage him in
No.
the middle of a Royale?
Can you Can you not, please? I'm trying to
Ellis, you
think.
can serve him
Something
if
that
you
won't
want.
kill me.
I can, but he's in the damn show. That works too.
Oh, he's gone. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Matt,
You can
I'm
stop.
I'm done.
You can
I'm
stop.
done. I'm done.
thank you. Please be done. Horizon,
Or am I?
what is your stat?
I'm still trying to think. I have a massive gap in the stats, so that's not helpful.
Well,
And
there
they're
are-
all stats I would have won, too.
There are lots of things that you can, have that are massive. So wait a minute. Is your
Oh my!
why does yours not send me to a Steam Locomotive page?
Oh, it's Google.
I don't know. I thought I linked it. I'm not
It
sure.
sends me
Yeah.
to Wikipedia.
The
Oh,
free
there. I
encyclopedia.
must have linked the wrong thing. Sorry.
I'm sitting here just
Okay.
like scratching my head because I was like I wanted to see the gap in your stats and
Also, Brian, that's the anything concerning that piece of equipment. Don't have it.
Oh,
I
shit.
understand.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yes,
That's
it is.
sad.
So I'm just going to try and kill the goose. Minimum weight of rail.
Okay.
That'll work, I
It
think.
might actually
Killing
be
it.
lighter than mine. There's some kind of stuff.
Yeah, Eastus gets
Oh,
another
no.
5 here.
Yeah, yeah.
Going once,
Oh,
going
no.
twice. Okay, Matt, go ahead.
101.
Oh,
It's heavier than I thought it was.
Horizon.
Still chunkier. 103.
Yeah, I was gonna say this should
Also
pair.
heavier than
This
I
should
thought it
pair
was.
right
Dear
alongside the last one. Milky,
117.
117. Ouch.
Ah, saving grace.
East.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, you're kidding me.
You
Brian?
can't be that light. Oh my god.
I'm.
You said
This thing is German. What do you expect?
It's small.
Oh my.
Teeny
Oh,
bitty
I
bitty.
expect something like the AA20, but narrower.
Dude,
Alright.
the
Yeah,
A20
let's-
is really light on the rate of rail because it has like 30 wheels to spread it across.
All right, Brian,
Yeah,
go
but this
ahead.
has way less. Once again, I'm fine with getting 2s as long as the goose dies. 115.
115.
I can still come back.
All right, East
Jesus,
is the lightest.
I am
East gets
just
5
stuck
points.
With threes, aren't I?
Surprising nobody. Matt gets 4 points. Horizon gets 3 points. Brian gets 2 points, and the goose gets 1.
Now wait. You know what is? Tender water capacity.
Oh.
Hey, there's still
Prepare
2
to
vetoes on
die.
the board. Brian's veto and Matt's veto.
How about
Prepare to
Brian,
die.
please.
veto that?
Okay.
Thank you.
He's gonna pick something worse now. Just watch.
You know what is? Trap the Bedford boys.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm fine with
Then
this.
I'll take it. I actually have that.
Milky going once.
That's really
Going
bad.
We have the
twice.
same size cylinders, but I have smaller drivers.
Okay, tractive effort starting with Matt.
Tractive is 41,534.
Ouch.
1,534. Horizon.
40,306.
Ow.
1,306.
And here comes Milky with like 60,000 probably.
49,000.
Oh,
right.
you're closer than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, East.
What is the first stat where Milky's given me anything other than like a 4, so 33,000. 23.
I mean, I'd given you a 1 previously, and I did it again.
Brian, go ahead.
47,000.
Yeah. That balances out from last time. Milky's the most powerful engineer in terms of tractive effort. He gets 5
At
points.
least this keeps me ahead of everybody else. But,
Right.
like, I haven't really been concerned about that before.
Brian gets 4 points. Matt gets 3 points. Horizon gets 2
but I'm only
points.
concerned about it because the goose is winning.
And East gets 1
Kill the
point.
goose.
You ain't killing the goose. Goose is not a dead cat.
The goose has 9 lives.
Yeah.
All right, East. Last stat
I aim to fix that.
from you, anyway.
Oh my god, I just added up the points. Matt is beating the goose.
Well, it's
Yeah.
only the third round. Hey, Tyler, give me a good stat I can call.
No, East, this is the 4th round.
No, but I mean like third question, fourth
Oh.
question.
Third
yeah.
stat,
It's
fourth
over,
stat.
East. You have the low ground.
Hey, East.
What?
What wheel arrangement are you?
What?
2, 2,
We did
2,
that stat already,
2,
didn't we?
2, 2, 2.
No,
We did-
didn't
That's,
do.
that's not a stat?
No, but
Question
there
mark?
are things related to it. I know what he's getting at.
Oh no, I know what he's asking about, but that's
But
gonna have
no,
to
that's not gonna.
No, it might work. I just have to do some math quickly because I don't.
Well, no, not that one in particular.
Oh, which one? Are you
But
thinking about
think about you have a wheelbase.
You
But-
have a wheelbase, and you have a wheelbase.
Overall,
Oh no.
your
I
wheel
know exactly
arrangement
what
does
he's
not
talking
make
about.
you
I know what he's
More.
talking about too.
Tyler, just please DM it to me, my guy.
Tire seat.
overall wheelbase.
How do you not know?
Like
My God.
your tender is absolutely tiny.
East moment.
Use it.
Tyler, I don't have tender stats.
If
Overall
I don't-
wheelbase.
Didn't we call it already?
It's
No.
no.
Oh, well, we're base.
Bruh. going once. Going
Tyler over here
twice.
dying.
Okay. Overall
Thank you.
wheelbase, Matt.
Tyler over here dying.
I'm glad I let that whole thing play out.
Overall
Right.
wheelbase is
Yeah.
73 even.
73
Germany
even.
suffers.
This is the content you watch this for.
Yeah, Horizon.
Do not have.
Oof.
Yay!
Milky.
No, the sun.
88.7 or
That's-
8.
Ugh.
That's a big chungus.
It is.
East.
66 point.
Okay.
Solid.
63.6.
Brian.
Shit, the goose didn't get a 1. Anyway, 82.23.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure Tyler can find his overall rear base if he just does a quick Google for it.
okay. Well, anyway. Here's where we is. East being the smallest engine here gets 5 points. Matt gets 4 points. Brian gets 3 points. Milky gets 2 points. And Horizon gets 1 pity point. And we are at the final stat.
I would just like to say a mountain with the 5-axle tender beat out several very small Hudsons.
Yeah, we don't like talking about that.
Anyway,
Can you tell?
Well,
which
here we
one
go.
is
What's
the?
the last stat gonna be?
Oh yeah, I remembered. There is one last thing.
Okay.
East, you're welcome in advance, and also, die,
You
goose,
ain't killing me.
Yeah, we are.
tender loaded weight.
That,
Hey, Tyler, please find that.
Oh,
No.
Oh my
Uh,
god,
yeah.
say about a
Matt,
Yes.
tender loaded weight.
Yeah, he's gonna get an automatic too if you don't recall that.
197.5.
oh, we
Horizon?
already went, boy. Yeah.
Fender loaded weight, yeah, 197.5. Okay.
Yep. Horizon.
I just
Yeah.
Also doesn't have it.
stats with the tender.
Milky.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you really didn't do a good here.
Yeah.
You really actually helped.
Holy
the-
Moses. East.
Oh
Matt, stop doing
my!
That's you hoe.
That is. I didn't do that, but that is a large.
I think you are. Wait, I need to run some numbers. Does anyone know? Okay, let's.
East.
I need to run some numbers. Anybody know advanced calculus?
Yeah, hold up. I'm trying to translate the website from German.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Okay. Brian.
Yeah, 326,050.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I have it.
I
All right. What's
I
yours,
think-
East?
It's
Communism.
It's in souls per locomotive, but I think
it's
we can
it's
translate
a
that.
generic tender Germany used. I'm just trying to find the weight of it. Like it's a generic tender. Give me a second.
looking at the diagram. I think it might be 72,000.
That sounds
That-
that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give that to
Because
him.
it's on the diagram here. It says 38ST.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it's. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
found too.
Okay. So that
Okay.
means here's where we are.
Are you sure that's not in kilograms?
It probably is. We just
That
translated
would
it
be
to pounds.
in ton.
Ah.
So East gets 5 points, being
Yeah, I'm sticking him.
having the smallest tender here. Matt gets 4 points. Brian gets 3 points. Milky gets 2 points, and Horizon gets a pity point. Unfortunate, considering. Everyone tally up your points for the end of round 4, and Tyler, you and I need to have a talk in a second. So, put your brain on, and we'll see where we are.
No.
Yo, Matt!
Yeah.
Hey!
Guys, I've done it.
You're gonna
I've done
die.
I've beaten the goose in a round.
You're gonna die.
I mean, yeah,
Because
this is
you
what
don't
it
know
comes
my
to.
style
Oh,
points.
Yeah, he has like
Yeah.
a lot of
Sorry,
style points. You
Milky.
guys better,
Accidentally
but-
erased your number. Sorry, misclicked.
If I had a shot for every time someone erased my number, I'd be dead.
Tyler, you should really go after giving the goose
That
a
was a
1.
misclick. Sorry.
Also, Brian, I'm pretty sure you have one more than you've calculated because you gave yourself a 2 on round 4, number 4, when you should have given yourself a free.
Hang on. 2, 4. Okay, the original number
This should have been a 3.
was.
Yeah,
Fixed.
that.
It should have been 2, 2, 4, 3,
No, now
3.
he's beating me.
Get
Rat.
650.
This
let's
the
see.
Colpedo is a real comeback story.
I mean,
That was really
It-
helping tender. Really
Oh wait, is that what you're
You
calling the
say a
German thing?
comeback story, and we have Germany over here with a 20-point
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, but I don't want to glorify the Nazis. Thank you.
to be honest, despite the fact that
Germany's
kind of
lovers.
looks like a colored version of
It is-
Southern Streamline PS4, I do kind of like the black diamond.
Whoever's clicked onto
No,
Milky's
it's
total,
right.
I need you to click off of it.
It says 59.
I know, but
Yeah.
nope, now it's gone.
Oh come on!
No, it doesn't. So 59.
Alcoholism.
Okay, so this is where we are. The Burlington Areolas with 66 points.
Aeolus.
Nope, I know what I said.
Hey,
I know what I said. With 66 points is in the lead. The Lehigh Valley K6B Colpedo is in second place with 65 points. That's Matt. The BR19 1001 is in third place somehow with 61 points. They had an incredible final round. The Blue Goose is in fourth place, getting knocked all the way down to fourth place. And then the TNO P14 is in fifth place with 53 points, mostly due to a lack of stats, which is really unfortunate. But anyway,
Yeah.
Tyler, I did some poking around when I wasn't sure what stats people had.
Yeah.
I know, and of course I can know this just by his own reactions to these sorts of things. The Germans' factor of adhesion is not good.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to knock them back a little bit, but I'm not sure about anybody else's.
But you see, I want to do something a little bit different.
Okay.
than that.
yeah.
You know how Milky said he was going to argue something? Yeah, I want to go with Builder.
Uh-oh.
Well, that'll definitely
You
knock
wanna
the German
hear my-
back.
Yeah, you want to hear my...
It would
compelling
knock the
argument?
German back, but it wouldn't knock him back as much.
Yeah,
And the thing is, as well, this just seems like a very fun one to do.
I'm
Builder.
okay with doing Builder. There's going to be a lot of homebrews here. So, it seems
You're gonna
like...
make me. You're gonna make me
What's in
fight
it?
my.
It's just like yes.
You're gonna make me fight my home road, Tyre. I hate you. But
Anyway. Yeah, okay, let's do Builder. I'm okay with that. Matt?
You see, you played yourself.
yeah, I
So
know.
it
Because,
says- it says several builders, but my earlier classes have been built by Baldwin and LV Sayre. So I'm gonna go for Baldwin here because I know some of them were built by Baldwin.
okay.
That's fair enough. I know we've given that before. And
Yeah.
honestly, if this thing ends up doing pretty well, I'm not going to be that upset. All right, Matt with
Yeah.
the Baldwin. Horizon.
Baldwin.
Many angers. Again, Southern Pacific Houston shop.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Milky.
Santa Fe.
The Santa Fe shops. East.
Santa Fe, we
Henshaw, something.
Yeah.
This was some crack cocaine or something.
Yes.
Brian, who built this
Central
thing?
does some great shit.
I must say, if I was with Matt in real life right now, I would be fist bumping him.
Nice.
Hey,
It was a Baldwin.
You know, I'm going to be honest here, and I wasn't really paying
Brother.
attention during the conversation about it earlier. I would have guessed that both you and Matt were Alcos, but Baldwin takes it. Not that that would have made a difference, because it still would have been above everything else. So, that means Brian and Matt put 5 points in your bonus category. East put 3 points, and then...
wait.
Do we rank all home builds the same?
No, we do
For
not.
this-
Who is better?
No,
SP.
No,
I vote SP.
no, Santa Fe was better.
Yeah, okay,
That's
we're
true.
ranking them the same. You both get 2 points.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
for banning me from
So can I
arguing that
get-
Santa Fe was better than SP in one regard.
They should have just merged, really. I can't
Yeah,
believe
they
nobody
would've
ever had
just-
that idea. I'm a genius. They
Yeah.
should have just merged.
Okay, so
Wait a
can
minute.
I,
The Chrome scheme was horrible.
No, you're wrong. Shut up. I love Kodachrome.
guys, can I,
That was dumb.
can I get my 2 style points out of the way? At the
Okay.
very
Okay,
beginning?
yeah, sure.
Okay, my first step one is I have a model, an Mark
I do
made a model
too.
of this.
I do
Okay,
too.
hold on.
I do too.
Hold on. Everyone will do this. Everyone
Mass-produced.
that has a mass-produced real-life model, take a point. Everyone that has a model in a major train simulator, take a point.
aha, I
Okay,
do. I
and
have
my
model
second step
locomotion.
is you didn't give it to the BR-52, but you're gonna have to unfortunately give it for this
I
one.
also have a locomotion.
Locomotion is not
Yeah.
a train simulator.
Yeah, it is.
Goodbye.
Is the
Also,
Eagle.
I have one that was going to be in trains but never got finished.
All right,
so I'm gonna
no,
count
we're
it.
not doing that. Moving on. East, what were you saying?
Okay.
Let's-
And then the embedded Eagle.
yeah, no, that's
You
pretty
know,
cool. I'll give you a point for that.
Also, though,
And,
not.
and that's all I've got. That's everything on the center.
That's a lie. You have more.
Yeah, we have other points for you.
Oh, and weather cab, I guess that exists as well.
Yeah, you have an all-weather cab. You also served in multiple continents.
You know,
You are a trophy of war, kid.
Tyler, I don't want to be winning. Stop giving me points.
no, you
I
know what?
want
That's
you
pretty
to
funny.
win,
You can take that.
Does the P-14 have an all-weather cab? I can't tell.
I don't
Who wants
No.
a photo of this thing at Fort Eustis?
I don't think so.
All weather? Nope. It's the Southern Pacific. There's no way
Where
it's
the
an
heck?
all weather. Because
Oh
that
my
thing
lord.
didn't run over dock. Wouldn't need one.
That's actually a really cool pick.
Fort Eustis, Virginia?
Wait
Yeah.
a second. Wait a second.
I told you, served in multiple continents.
Why?
What?
It has
Goddamn.
the spoil of war.
Yeah, take a point for that. Take a point for that.
52.
That's
What the
hilarious.
hell?
Also, look, it's got the United States Army Transportation Corps
does.
logo.
Operating multiple under different multiple road companies.
No. Okay, we'll give one.
Oh
we'll give
my
1 point overall for everything involving it being a trophy of war. That includes the serving in multiple places.
Okay.
So just
East,
the 1
you
point.
give all-weather cab. You also have smoke deflectors and backup lights.
Okay, yeah.
Can you get a point for looking like the British GT3 turbine thing?
No, he does get a point for smoke
No.
deflectors that nobody else gets. Does anyone else? Who else has a backup light?
I
Let me look.
I may not have smoke deflectors, but I do have the Sandy stack.
Yeah, take a point for your extendy stack, Milky.
I can't
I
find
think
any
I have a
rear
backup
fuses
light, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure that I had a weird backing light.
I just realized this thing's tender is very, like some versions of this thing's tender are like very, very similar to Southern Pacific Daylight tender.
hmm
It's weird.
Okay, here's what I'm going to throw out for people. Everybody except the last two, so everyone except the German and the Aeolus, has streamlined marker lights.
Hey.
So you guys get a
pretty
point for that, and the Aeolus gets a half a point because it actually does have marker lights, whereas the German doesn't.
I
Hang
have
on.
ditch lights.
Yeah,
Can I real quick throw out two
Yeah.
big old points?
you do have ditch lights. Everyone else has a headlight though, and you don't. So I'm not giving you a point for the ditch lights, and I'm not giving.
Anyway,
does
I'm taking.
Does anyone else have an air horn?
Yeah, take your air
I
horn
do.
point.
I don't even know what this thing is. So I'm on this page and I'm enjoying all these bonus points I'm going to get for the BR52 in the finale.
Throw
Anyway,
something real quick.
uh,
things. Let's see. I have a name.
yep. Take your
Number
name,
one.
Mr. Aeolus and Mr. Sunbeam. Take your name point.
That's the name
No,
of the train.
I've
though.
got one. I've got one.
I mean, yeah, but it's
Black-
painted on the side of you.
True.
Black Diamond.
I also
Black.
crap. What
I
was it?
Is the locomotive called the
bearings.
Black Diamond, or is the train called the Black Diamond?
Question mark.
Sunbeam's called the Black Diamond. The
What?
Sunbeam's named after the train,
Well,
and
yeah.
the Black Diamond is named after the train. So technically, it should get that.
Okay,
point.
okay, but if it's named, if the engine is named after the train, that's different than the
Oh,
engine carrying a named
yeah,
train.
but the Sunbeam isn't named after the train, but you gave it the point.
I'm
anyway.
giving it the point because it says Sunbeam on the side.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it says Black Diamond on the side. of
Where?
the engine.
Oh my
the-
god.
Or at least it did.
It says it on the
B14 carries the name of the train.
Ellis, that's cool. That's cool.
Here is
Where
not
does
the
it
same-
say?
Here is not the same class of locomotive, but mine is painted in the same way. It has it right on the side of the tender.
Okay, you know what? I can kind of see it on this picture, so that's fine. Take the point for that.
Okay, I know we kind of already brought this up, but this thing actually did run in the U.S. It was steamed up in the U.S. and ran for military officials.
my
Yes,
goodness.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I take my roller bearings out?
Yes.
Yeah, Wade. Roller freight.
What's it called?
Roller.
Were we going to do the number built instead of number streamlined
Hold on.
here?
We'll do the take.
We already-
If you have roller bearings all the way around, take a point for that.
I've already taken.
Cool. Oops, I just closed out a tab. I didn't mean to.
How many of you guys all survive, though?
I survived.
I do
Not
too.
streamlined, but I survived.
I do too.
If any
One of my two survived.
anyone
One of
here
the
with a
two
survivor,
Aeolus
give yourself a
survived.
point. Oh yeah. So here's what we'll do. How many of your engines were streamlined, Matt? How many of yours were streamlined?
Two.
For me, it was 3.
3. Horizon, all 3 of yours were. Milky, how many Blue Gooses were streamlined?
1.
Just 1. East, of course, is
Wait.
the 1 out of 1.
Ellis, correction.
What's up?
Horizon's class, the P14s themselves, are really just a reclassification of the P6s, of which there are 12.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
only a quarter of his are streamlined.
Right, I'm just looking at raw numbers here. So, and there were how many Aeoluses streamlined?
There were two, and both were actually named Aeolus. They were just Aeolus number 1 and Aeolus number 2.
Okay, so that
4,000,
means
4,000.
that
They
means
weren't
Matt, you said you have 3?
Yeah.
So that means Matt and Horizon get a point. Aeolus gets half a point, and the other two don't get a point.
But
Wait, why don't I
shouldn't
get a
East
point?
get a point for 100% streamlining rate?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, doesn't East not to give
Should
it
I
not
get
to
a-
give East points intentionally, but I think he gets points for 100% survival rate too.
He didn't survive.
No.
No, I didn't.
Didn't?
I was scrapped.
I
He
didn't-
didn't
I got a-
survive. He was scrapped.
I've got a point for survival, but I'm not sure if I get a point for 50% survival rate, which is better than everybody.
That
Everybody
is
else.
probably
Yeah, you
it.
can take a point for that.
And it's even better than Milky, who has one surviving just like me, but he had a bigger class, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
Plus, his was on
that
streamline.
doesn't help.
Mhm.
The oh, you know what?
Wow. Apparently, the PRI went to check out this engine. Actually,
You're kidding
Of course
me.
they did.
That's a
Representatives.
lie.
Point.
It has to be a
Hold
lie.
up. Okay. No. So, a list of representatives of companies that sent representatives to look at this engine: Chrysler, GM, Alco, the Central, the Penske, Baldwin, Super Himco, Norfolk and Western, Franklin Railway Supplies, Lima, Southern, the C&O, the ACL.
All right.
They all sent representatives to check out this engine.
I'm gonna throw a point out here. It's kind of a weird one, but it doesn't benefit the Aeolus. In fact, it benefits everybody else. Everyone else has a folding coupler, but the Aeolus is the only one I can see where it's like bolted in.
Yeah.
Okay, so negative stuff.
So everyone else
have buffers.
Everyone else gets a point except for the Aeolus. Actually, you do get a point for having buffers. We've given a point for that before.
Isn't it a negative point?
No.
No.
It's a safety point.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure you might have had a knuckle in the U.S. So
Yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah, but unless I'm going to give everyone else a point and then you a half a point.
No, I've been favored with couplers. Wouldn't that be a point?
No, because you got it later.
Can I get a point for something that happened after my streamlining was removed?
Oh no.
Depends. What was it?
Spirit.
End of Steam excursions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I technically performed excursions for the military and stuff in the U.S.
No.
No.
Can we give it a point though for the whole all the representatives that came to see
Yeah,
this thing?
fine. Sure. Take an excursion
give it a point for the Olympics train.
Oh, God.
I did not. It was
Thank
not this
God.
engine.
Then why does it have the Olympic rings?
That's a Northern. This is a Mikado.
That's a different
Can we
engine.
do paint points?
Okay. Yeah. Paint points.
Because I have the coolest paint.
Stainless steel.
Yeah, no, honestly,
Yes,
honestly,
I think that in terms of coolest paint, Matt and Bender, not Bender, Horizon Tie.
Matt
Matt
and
and
Horizon
Horizon.
are
Those
definitely
both
some good-looking
very,
paint jobs.
very cool schemes.
But that's the thing. I find it difficult to define
Technically,
this
everyone
about
has
them.
paint.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just like I would want to
I
give
barely
everyone
have
a
any
point, but for different reasons,
chrome.
you know?
Hmm.
But frankly, I do think if we're going to give out a point for paint, Matt and Horizon get a paint point. They're above and beyond in terms of how pretty they are.
Can I take a point for being the
Yeah.
only standard? Can I take a point for being the only standard gauge V8 steam engine?
No.
No.
That's a negative point.
He can take
How
a
is
point
that-
though
That's
for
a
superheater.
negative, my guy.
Didn't we give out style
Repeat that,
points
Tyler.
at one point?
You have a superheater. Well, you have a not superheater, but you have a feed water heater. And you also you do have a
I think I might have a feed water heater.
What was
I
the
have a
other
word
thing, Tyler?
then.
I've got a superheater. I don't know about
Tyler, what was the other thing?
Okay, well, superheater doesn't. That was in the
No, yeah,
actual regular points.
Don't we
Yeah.
give a-
Also, you do have 2 cross-compound air compressors, so if we want to go into air compressibility,
I'm pretty sure I also have the most sand looking at diagrams that I have like 2 decently large sand domes.
Dude,
I don't
how
know,
much
because
time
sense
do
of scale here.
Excuse-moi, I have a gigantic. Oh wait,
But you're
is
also
that
a bread
sand
loaf.
dome or is that sand dome? I can't tell.
Red low.
I have a pretty decent sand dome.
Wait, do I have
On
2
my
feed water
diagram.
heaters? Or are those 2 steam things?
You
Super
just
heater.
have 1 feed water heater.
Okay.
They're like the little boxes on the back of Flying Scotsman's smoke box.
I...
Can I get a point for my streamlining continuing to the tender?
I
Mine
mean,
does that too.
Not everybody here does have streamlined
I
tenders.
think
mine does.
mine actually does.
Not open.
I think
But
Ain't that-
just-
the only one is just the sunbeam.
the only one is the Sunbeam, so everyone but the Sunbeam gets a point. Which is unfortunate for the Sunbeam.
Did we give out points for style points for boosters?
No, that
Yeah.
came up in the
No, 'cause
that
that's
came
a
up in the
stat.
stats.
That's a stat, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought you could also get like a style point for having on the.
You can,
No.
but I only award it if it doesn't get brought up
Oh.
in the stats.
Do I get a bonus point for having a 4.6.0 version?
No.
Excuse me, what?
Bad.
No.
But you know
a
what?
bonus point for having a different class.
But you know what is an actual style point though? Thermic siphon.
Yeah, take a point for that.
Thermic siphon? Where? When? What?
I have it.
I suddenly remembered. I don't. Could you remind me what a thermic siphon is?
It was a device that, or something rather that made the
Siphoned thermic.
yeah. It did something more efficient than how it was done before.
It works flamin'.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, I have a
Basically, the
question.
thermic siphon it's internally in the firebox. You know how you have a brick arch?
Siphon is now.
It's a different.
Yeah,
Also,
it's like
East, you do have a
helps the
thermic
cycle.
siphon. I checked your diagrams.
Helps the cycle heat, right?
It's sort of.
Sort of.
Makes
I do
sense.
see East whistle. Unless
So, Tyler, I have a question. Would my slippage be worse or better than the average steam engine?
I don't really know because, of course, you're messing with so much power, but at the same time, you have smaller cylinders, so it's kind of a weird.
I also went 110 miles an hour. I'm not sure if anyone else went that fast.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna toss this out there. I don't know.
I did.
Yeah, the Blue Goose probably did. I'm gonna toss this out there.
I did.
The Sunbeam gets a point because of lighted changeable number boards. But the Colpedo and the Blue Goose also had lighted number boards, so I'll give them each a half a point. And then the other two don't have that at all. So
Do I
Can we
have
give-
number plates?
you do
Yeah, I
have
was
an
about to
embossed
say
number plate. You can take a point for that.
Just post the thing in streaming and recording. This is off of the SteamLocomotive.com page. No, I don't know if I'm going to get a style point for this, but I just thought it was.
I mean,
There was a group a couple of years ago that wanted to rebuild my Survivor to break the Steam World Record.
get
Does
it.
anyone else
Get out of
have-
No, we aren't getting out.
If a Hudson is allowed to take the American Steam speed record from anything Penzi, then it shouldn't be the Blue Goose or any of its siblings. It should be the F7.
The F7 probably has the best
then you would
chance
need
of
Also,
any
Milky, I just
locomotive to beat
deleted
it.
your bonus point total again.
Yeah, the F7 is
Is a very
At
impressive
this point, it
engine.
should be called the FU.
Sorry.
God damn it. Okay. Is there?
Alcohol.
Let me throw this out there, Tyler. Is there anything important that we've missed?
I
want
do
to
have
give.
train
when we-
control speed.
Well,
Something that
Actually,
Santa Fe did, I
have
guess.
smoke deflectors. I have
Yes.
smoke deflectors. I just realized this. I think I
Interesting.
kind of technically have smoke deflectors. Because if you look, again, this is not the exact same locomotive, but they were virtually identical.
oh, okay. Two things note.
If you look, there's those little things
East.
there.
Mm.
Okay, shush. East has the dart smoke box doors. Remember the swirly things?
Yeah. So take a point
Also,
for
he
that.
survived an air raid.
I am alright.
He
what?
was damaging.
Matt, you say those things are smoke deflectors. Technically, because they serve the same purpose, so would the little vents on the top of my front.
You know, that's a
What was
good.
the other?
That's a good point. So those are
That's
the
smoke
vents in the
lifters,
front.
like
That is
channel air
the
to-
Aeolus,
Oh.
the Blue Goose, and the Lehigh Valley thing. You guys do get points for that because that does function as smoke deflection, as like hardcore smoke deflection. So
It's like the little flaps on the top of the Thompson Pacific.
Also, one of my engines set a world record for the longest single won by a steam locomotive by completing the LA to Chicago one without maintenance other than 5 refueling stops en route. Yeah. Which is pretty freaking impressive.
yeah, that is
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
impressive. You know
I
what?
figured out why I don't have any tender stats.
That's worth a point. Take it.
It's because I figured out why I don't have any tender stats. It's because this thing ran with apparently multiple tenders, including a Vanderbilt.
Haha,
But then
music
the-
Yeah.
contenders.
Makes sense.
So Tyler, what was the other thing you wanted to say?
Okay, so you survived an air raid, and you. Well, come on.
No.
Surviving
You
an
survived an air raid and was able to last long enough for American industrialists to figure out what was good from it.
I mean, I
already
already
got
I
the
already
war
gave a
for
point for
point.
the service.
I mean, how many other engines here survived an air raid?
Exactly.
I already gave a point for the wartime service.
My
You gave
I
him.
get
No,
a-
you didn't. You
Yes,
gave a
I
point
did.
For multiple countries.
Yes, he
No,
did.
you gave multiple countries. You didn't give wartime service.
You never gave-
we
you
didn't
didn't
give
give wartime.
wartime
I tried to
service.
wrap that all into one point because it didn't really serve in multiple countries because it just was taken as a war prize and then ran for demonstration purposes. It didn't serve.
Well, in Germany, it served in occupied countries.
Can I?
Technically, those were all Germany at that point.
It could have ran in Vichy France. Or Italy, for all we know.
I mean,
Can I get a
You're
point?
grasping at straws here.
Can I get a point for a curved, or half a point for a curved window?
no.
No.
Literally just looking for anything to catch up to Brian.
It is kind of
Also,
cute.
East, did you give a point for the dart?
I did.
Okay, good.
Okay, apparently I just found confirmation of my automatic train control.
Go on.
That's interesting. Apparently it's just something that Santa Fe did on some of their Steam engines. And I have an actual source for it. Now,
What does it
Then-
do?
train control. Train control.
What
don't
on
know.
earth have I found?
Apparently it controls the train.
Okay. That's not descriptive.
Automatically.
Wow.
PTC. No.
I just want to say the other reason not to give East a point for surviving an air raid is because he was being bombed by the good guys at the time.
Well,
I
that's
mean, depends on
it's
from
still a
certain
feat
point
of
view.
engineering for it to survive an air raid and
Is
keep
it
on
though?
going.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty.
I mean,
impressive.
surviving.
How many did we lose?
Did the building fall on it? Like, how does survive an air raid? Does it really factor into your engineering feat there?
I would say if it took close enough that it's out of service for a while and gets back in, it's impressive.
Yeah.
You're kind.
I mean, this is
right,
if it's being hit by Allied air raids, it's most. It's already built in 42, and if it's being hit by air raids, this is probably late war. The fact that Germany decided to save this thing instead of scrapping it on spot for a Tiger is pretty impressive.
I mean, I don't think they really were about to start doing stuff like that, although it is kind of ridiculous they didn't get rid of this.
That wouldn't have been practical anyway.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have a point, and I am very much grasping at straws here.
Okay,
However,
this is your last straw. Grasp it.
okay. So, a K6B, the number 2089, was the very last locomotive built at the Lehigh Valley's Sayre shops. Does that count for anything?
Okay.
I don't know if it
final
counts.
locomotive built at a shop, maybe.
I mean, you know what? Take it because not just because of that,
They've given that before.
but also because I like your curved window. So take the point.
Yeah.
And fair enough. I did roll a bunch of things into one. East, you can have another point. And okay,
I'm falling
don't-
farther behind.
I don't think there's anything else that really jumps out at me looking across these locomotives here. A lot of great contestants.
I have a hat. I'm looking at I have a hat. Oh wait, that's my feed
Yeah, we already gave you feedback,
Yeah.
Peter.
I'm never mind.
I have a hat. Yes, yes, we're aware.
I do quite like the streamlining for the hat, though. It's just ridiculous.
It is kind of it's smooth.
It's lawful good. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's also
I
not good.
Is a bucket.
Also,
I kinda wish I
actually,
could've
wait.
bought the
Can
P10
we?
instead of the P14?
Can we what?
One thing though, Ellis, can we give a point to again Germany, because the side paneling is designed to be easily removable, so you can maintain everything, and they moved the compressors down to as low as they could be,
I think
so that when you remove those panels, it's just right there. You don't need to get up on a ladder. You don't.
Maintenance on a German.
I mean-
on a German vehicle.
I-
Preposterous.
I would consider that, except it has by far the most shrouding of anyone. So I think the advantage is gained by those extra maintenance panels.
also they were planning for it needing to be fixed a lot.
Don't really no.
I mean, that's
don't,
every steam engine.
yeah. Don't really
Well, yeah.
help it in comparison to its peers.
But it's a style point. It's something that's stylish.
The thing is, I'm looking at this and comparing it to, Aeolus here. And yeah, you can get to part of the valve here easily.
Yeah, that's true.
The rest of the shrouding isn't designed to be removed, and I don't know where in the world the compressors are on this thing.
Yeah, no, the Aeolus seems particularly user-unfriendly when it comes to maintenance. So,
Oh wait, that's the wrong end. Where's 4,000?
The
I mean,
Goose,
to be-
I'm not sure where the compressors are.
to be fair, it is true. It does seem like the most designed to be user-friendly, so I'll give a point.
The other one as well, to get that user friendliness point, I would say is the Sunbeam, because while it is technically streamlined, the streamlining is so thin that you can just get to like everything.
Yeah.
It's basically like semi-streamlining, but like it has a
It is
streamlined front.
quite literally streamlining.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Ooh,
If-
3 point.
if that is that, it's time to tally up the points and
Oh, I do
call it a
I
game.
do have the defender back up right. Yes. Extra point.
I'm glad you finally figured that out.
Hey, I reached the point total of the K6B.
All right, 65 plus 17.5.
Oh no!
Son of a-
Yes.
I don't think either of us are going to win. Because look,
Oh no!
Oh my god, did the K6B win by half a point?
No way.
Oh my god!
You know, I didn't expect that to
That
happen.
is a three-way race for third.
Yeah.
Three-way race for first, and
You
then
know,
there's the
I'm
Blue
gonna-
Goose and me.
I was looking for that extra point there because I was adding the points up, and I was like, I can win by half a point. I can win by half a point.
Yes.
So, my friends, here we go. I have won.
This
Congrats,
is
Matt.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was paying attention to these two down here.
I won. This is the first
By
time
the
I've ever
grace
won.
of God and a curved window, we're going to be seeing the K6B in the finale. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Curved window won this.
It's the first time I've ever won.
Yeah.
Wait, don't I also have curved windows, or are you talking about something else?
No, I mean, honestly, well, no, first of all, you don't.
Let me have this.
Second of all,
Where do you have a curved window?
second of all,
Oh,
He
yeah,
has
you mean
windows on
yeah,
top of
yeah,
the roof.
I
He has
really-
skylights.
I really gave him, I really gave him the
Hold on,
point for
hold on.
the
I
being
may
the last
have a
one
way
built.
to get one more point.
But
The two streamlined ones
No,
had
let me
two
have this.
different kinds of feed water heaters.
No.
One had a Worthington, the other had
I
an
have a
Alaska.
skylight.
Yeah,
Does
that's-
that count for anything?
I already called it. And also,
No, LS skylight.
no,
Skylight.
No.
Skylight.
no,
Oh, let's
No.
do it. This will be
Accept it.
No.
no, I already called it.
No. The Rat
Also,
Diamond one.
a skylight is not that special. Almost every steam engine advents you could open in the roof.
But this has like glass.
If it's
Maybe
covered in
it's
glass, that's
actually-
worse.
If you don't have an all-weather cab, then
What about
technically
the
you have the
feed one?
sun
This
coming
is
in
actually
anyway.
Interesting. Like, why did they build the second one with a Worthington?
And if you are the SP thing, you
Randomness?
are the sun.
Yeah.
Apollo. Wait.
Cold torpedo.
Also, to answer your question, Brian, as to why Burlington did that, it was their standard policy. You look at a lot of their later classes, they will just kind of add in the two different forms of feed water heater and be like,
All right.
So I don't
Let's
think many
get
roads
on the road.
Now, next week, we will be
I'm
seeing
upset that Matt won.
the following individuals. So let's. Next week is the Royale of Royales, the season 4 finale. I'm going to go through and list off those contestants now, starting, of course, with our winner tonight, Matt, with the Lehigh Valley thing, the Colpedo. If it will let me scroll down to this document, it'd be very handy. Thank you. I need to link that. Milky and Sierra Railroad 18. Or sorry,
Oh,
wait,
no.
that's the wrong.
Oh no.
That's the
With
wrong
Milky.
season. Why does
Oh,
it say
no.
season 3 again? I just copied and pasted and didn't edit it. Season 3, Milky and Sierra Railroad 18, East
Oh, no.
in the Kiso Forest Class 11.
Rip the key, so that's gonna get destroyed.
Fort in the BNA 466. East again in the Reichsmobile. And finally, Matt with the K6A. So,
Honestly, the K6 is probably gonna win it all. It's the middle of the road thing.
What about the B&A? Well, yeah, that's true. It is probably the middle of the road thing, but I think the Reichsmobile is very dangerous, and I think the double ender is not going to be something to shake a stick at. So
I just realized I could have won this if I wasn't memeing and called like terrible stats.
yeah.
Yeah, East, you really next
I
time.
didn't think I could.
Next
I was
time you-
honestly trying to lose, and then like you guys gave me like five
Yeah.
fives in a row somehow.
You guys were so helpful.
I was literally down by like
goose
30
that
points,
you-
and I somehow come
Yeah.
second or third, I guess.
Well, Kill the Goose sure worked. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week for another Locomotive Royale, and then begins the next season, which has a little bit of a twist, a little bit of surprise. I hope you guys are all ready for it.
They...
And
Yeah.
The Loco Royale where
Yeah.
Ellis gets some screen and such strip dancing.
Yep.
I mean, if I really wanted to rig the views in,
I won.
we're just doing Germany.
Yes, just 1945 engines.
just Monica.
Yeah.
Except it's Germany.
Yeah.
I'm happy, even though I lost, I have the biggest grin right now.
Yeah, I know. All right. Thanks everyone for coming on. Thanks to Tyler for, helping with the technical stuff. And actually, I want to talk to you after this about season 6. So, about the style points revamp, because I started really thinking about it during this episode. And thank you to our contestants. Thank you to Stephen West from SteamLocomotive.com. And thank you to all of you viewers. We'll see you next week. This is the Admiral, signing off. Goodbye.
I don't know how I keep winning with these German things. It should be illegal.
Goodbye.
Germany suffers.